So we're back out here in New Zealand again today, and that's probably what I'm going to refer to Te Awaroa National Park as, mostly because I cannot say it very well, but yeah, I wanted to just keep exploring the map, and I wanted to actually go and look for sika deer again in the beginning, because I was looking at kind of the west side of the map, and I did go around and discover some more outposts so we can kind of move around a little more quickly, but I want to check out these three lakes, because I think they're going to be good for sika deer. I hope so, and I placed a tent there to make life a little bit easier in getting there, but yeah, I want to look for them. I want to see what else is down here on this side of the map, and then we'll probably go around and kind of maybe go for a bit of everything. We must be just a little bit early, because they're still kind of getting into their zones now, and actually this is the second lake. Of course, that guy's kind of turning away, but we'll take him there. And yeah, we're probably going to go back to the first lake then, and there's going to be better wind anyway. I didn't really consider the wind when I set up my tent, but it's not exactly the best for going to all these lakes that are south of us. But we'll still check these areas out, and then hopefully getting back to the first lake, there's going to be more stuff there. So he was kind of close to gold, just a little bit below. And even that's like a decent sized sika, and I think they did a pretty good job from what I've seen so far with like the true X. I always think it's a difficult balance of like making them big enough so they're impressive, but not quite so big that they're completely unrealistic. And I think, honestly, from what I've seen, they've pretty much nailed that, but that's something I was hoping to see. I hadn't seen any red deer on this west side yet, and I think having the red deer here, like along with the sika, are really going to make this area better. So that's definitely encouraging. I think that's the biggest one we've seen so far. I just had his tracks and I saw that he's spooked. I'm glad we could get eyes on him. And he may very well stop somewhere over in there where we can get a shot. So I'd like him to stop and turn broadside, because that looks kind of similar to the one they showed in the trailer. And that one, I gotta assume, was probably level 5. So he's kind of going alert there. I think there's a tree in our way, though. Now we don't have him spotted. Hopefully he's gonna cooperate and give us a shot, but I don't know, just that's the one thing about this thick forest, which I do like it. Like, it's a really cool area, but it does make it a little bit challenging to get these quick shots in there. But before he completely went away with the outline, I did see he dropped. So red deer actually are going to have different zone times on this map, because they don't normally feed 4 to 7 like that. I think that's what it said. They used to drink 5 to 9 on every other map, so I'm glad they're kind of changing that up. That's going to make it hopefully like more huntable throughout the day. But yeah, that's a really nice looking sika. Definitely the best one we've shot so far. And he is going to be 194. Wow, that is 4 below diamond. We were so close. So I wonder then if a level 4 sika can make diamond? I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if it gets that close to there. Because again, kind of going off axis deer, because they max at the same weight, they had to be normally like in that 70 kg area to make level 5. And actually, it was possible for level 4 axis deer to make diamond even before true X, so that probably is a thing, and that we're going to taxonomize, because I want to see that next to the other ones. And we still have one more lake down here to get to. There is at least the one here, but I'm kind of surprised there's not more. So we'll get him. And then maybe if we look around, there's going to be others that are just like hiding in the shadows, but I think I scanned the shoreline pretty good. And like that side is probably too steep for them to be drinking right down near the water. But I'm kind of surprised. This is a pretty big lake. And of course, at level 3, that guy's just going to be a silver. Another heart shot, though. Seems like the hearts are pretty easy to get to. But yeah, I don't see much else going on here, so let's go back up to the first lake and kind of see if maybe now that we've given them time, there's going to be more there. There actually were a couple of males up here. I'm not sure if buck or stag is the right word for sika deer, so I'll probably defer to you guys in the comments for that one and just call them males for this video, but that guy is a max weight estimate one. He's definitely not as big as the one we just got, but we'll take him. Maybe respawns for the short time we'll have the creator beta population, but you never know. But at least another gold, and I think it should be the same fur type as the other one we shot, but yeah, I mean, not bad. They do seem quite similar to axis deer, not only in the weight, but also the kind of distribution of good size ones. And that's something I'm always glad to see. Like, obviously they're not like axis deer currently, or at least like they were. I haven't hunted them in long enough to know if that's been fixed, but to where there's just 5s running around everywhere, but lots of kind of good size 4s, and I'd definitely like to see the bigger ones, so I think that's good, but as much as I enjoy hunting the sika deer, I think we should move off and go and look for like feral goat and chamois. So we'll probably go, I wanted to check like up in these mountains, because I gotta think that's what lives up here. And we'll probably go down to probably this outpost, because the wind's gonna be best, and just go up through and check out like all the lakes. So we'll reset the time to, I think 5. I want to say chamois drank 4 to 8, so that should work. That's another pretty decent feral goat, so we'll probably go ahead and try to take that out. It's kind of walking around in a weird way, but if we can just get a shot in there, that'll bring him down. And I think that's another one of those brown fur types that we spent a ton of time trying to go after. I'm not sure, they must have like a change in zone time right about now. I had a feed zone for them, so I could check, but I do want to know when they drink, because we definitely know chamois, sika deer, and I did see the feral pig. They're like 3 to 6 in the morning. So if feral goat or red deer drink like later in the day, then this map's going to be very huntable throughout the day. And that's also like assuming that turkeys are on the same schedule as they are on Silver Ridge Peaks, because they would actually be active late in the day. So that's what I'm hoping for. And maybe that's going to be what we do in tomorrow's video, kind of like explore this map after, say, 12 o'clock. Because that's when sika deer stop drinking, and I'd like to know kind of like what else is active. These little guys are actually really hard to like spot drinking here. Just, I guess it's in the brush and then the fog and stuff. It's tough to see, but I'm glad to see they do drink here. Because I was wondering if they'd be like just in the starting area, or if there's going to be other areas. And it's good to see they are actually kind of occupying other parts of the map. Because we're up here, like I showed, like kind of top middle. And it's definitely good to see them actually occupying some of that too. Ooh. Alright, forget everything else right now. I was looking at the map. The hunting pressure just now appeared, so I don't know where we hit that one, but it definitely didn't drop like I thought. But that is a little more interesting. So they actually have the same max weight estimate as pronghorn. I don't know if they're the same size in real life, but that's kind of a thing, I guess, in the game. There's a lot of animals that share the same max weight. But we're going to have to be a little more careful, because I don't know what we just did, but we did not drop the other one, and definitely don't need to be messing up this one. So we'll get in like a little more broadside and try to get that shot in there that way. And I don't know, it might be that it's kind of like darker over there, but I'm pretty sure that's the exact fur type that I talked about actually wanting a diamond chamois of, so hopefully we can get this. Of course, it's actually not in the live game, so it's not something we'd keep, but that worked a lot better. I really have no idea what went wrong on the first one. Guess we shot him a little further up this way. We'll go and check that in a second, though, because I am more interested in finding out what this is. Actually, I'm not 100% sure if that is the honeytones fur type, but either way, it was a 5, and it is the honeytones, and it is a diamond at 58.8, so he's only 0.8 above. I think that would be, like with the pronghorn, generally pretty good sized. Though the Truax, the weight doesn't really affect things as much anymore. But that guy we got just straight double lung. No real problems, so I am very curious to go back and see what happened on the other. But that's really cool. Again, I feel like this is going to go exactly like Silver Ridge Peaks now, where this is the thing that I want to get in the live game, like a honeytones, diamond, chamois, and I feel like in the live game we're going to get the other fur types, but we'll kind of just have to wait and see on that one. But then let's go and see what happened here. Because that's what I was doing. I was like looking for the blood and trying to figure out what went wrong. Because there was no hunting pressure, but it got it eventually. And actually, the only good news is by waiting so long, it was actually on its way back. So what happened? Because I thought, for one, I thought it dropped. I think it did the same thing that some of the ibex species do, where they just sort of crumple into a ball. What? Okay, the only thing I can figure, because I think we shot at a 3, if I'm remembering right, we must have just had this guy in front of the one we shot at and I didn't know it. That's the only thing I can imagine. But, well, there's a good look at extremes. Diamond with the big hooks and pretty tiny male with no hooks. But anyway, I wanted to get up to some of these other lakes. It's already 6:20 now, so we'll probably fast travel to this lodge to save ourselves some time. it could just be the fog, and like, I talked about it at the other lake. They are just difficult to spot, but I'm not sure there's any chamois actually drinking at this lake, but there are, for some reason, some feral goats just kind of walking along, so we'll try to get the male there. I'm pretty sure that's the just white fur type. I don't think he had like the brown head and neck area, but it's always cool to see, like, especially on a map where we're not familiar with everything, like what all the new fur types and stuff are. I think I just saw something go across there. I don't imagine that would have been one of the goats. Oh, it actually was. Alright. As long as we're not missing out on chamois that I didn't know were here. But I don't know whether to like stay here and look around more. It seems like we're far enough up in the mountains that this should be an area where chamois would drink, but it could also be that there's not that many up here. It actually is white brown. So I think we shot a dark brown last time or something like that, but it looked kind of similar to this. Maybe it didn't have the brown on the legs, but that actually is one we hadn't seen, so I'm glad we got that. And yeah, I mean, let's go back to the lodge and check down this side, because then we're going to go like that direction anyway, and we might just fast travel, because to get all the places I want to get to, we're going to have to probably change the time once anyway. Maybe we'll run it and then change the time when we get here. I'm honestly just super glad to see that chamois are like in the areas that you'd expect them to be in, because they should be like up in the mountains and stuff like this, and kind of easy to catch them during their drink time like it is for any species, but it's definitely good to see like the numbers. So we'll just take that one out. And I don't know if this lake's big enough. There's a chance like maybe down at that end there could be some that didn't hear that. But I think actually even here there might have been one I hadn't seen. Don't think it was as good as the one we got. I'm at least pretty sure I didn't see an estimate go even to 46. So I'm pretty sure we got the best one. And then one went running across that way. That's just that too. And I don't see any others here, so like I said, I think we need to reset the time, because I want to get to these two lakes, and then probably there's an outpost somewhere near there, I would think. So we'll probably go to the lookout too. I think we might have found the best place for chamois on this map. There are a bunch, including, is that a melanistic? It's a level 4 for one thing, but there's just a ton of them all drinking in this tiny little area. I'll show on the map where it is. We still haven't gotten to spot them all, but it's the bigger the two lakes kind of like on the west side here. So we'll get in a little bit closer, make sure we don't miss any. And then, assuming there's not like a 5 in here, that darker colored one there is the one we're going to go for. I think that's another leucistic actually. And having talked to some of the other creators that have gotten to play the map a bit, apparently leucistic chamois aren't all that uncommon, but I'm not sure the same could be said for melanistics, and definitely maybe not a level 4. So let's see if we can get this. Kind of keep that behind the shoulder just a bit, and unfortunately not reloaded to get a follow-up in there. How many are here? First of all, that one there, that got the zoom all weird. That one looked pretty big. I don't know which it was. I think actually that one, which is just a female. But there's just a ton of them, all in this one little corner. I think we got the best one, but they're still coming out of here. But that has to be a melanistic, and it's a pretty good size. It wasn't max weight estimate, so it won't be a huge 4. But 50 trophy rating, 8 below diamond, and that's actually really cool. So we're gonna have a diamond and a melanistic to find a place for the trophy lodge. But yeah, that wasn't an issue for the Mosins. I think we just had like a weird scenario there earlier where we just hit that other one instead of the one we were going for. But I don't know like whether there's gonna be any more at this lake. That's a mating call, so somewhere there? I can't tell. That looks pretty dark, so we'll get that one too. And something that I've been meaning to mention over and over and I keep not getting the chance to is the fact that they kind of changed the interaction with running and binoculars. So if this would just sit still for a second, we'll just drop her real quick. And yeah, you might have noticed at several points while you're running, and if you pull up your binoculars, you automatically are forced to walk, which is a lot more realistic. You just could never hold binoculars to your eyes and run at the same time. It just wouldn't be possible, at least not to really see through them. So I think that's a good thing. But that is going to kind of slow down, like, just running around, like, things like multiplayer where I'm trying to just cover a lot of ground. But like I said, I think ultimately it's probably pretty realistic. Well, what do we got going on here? That, I think, is another melanistic, so rare chamois might not be all that rare then. Because we've now seen 2 leucistics and 2 melanistics, so I don't know if that's a spawn rate thing. I mean, we've seen that with things like caribou on Yukon Valley, for instance. So we'll kind of have to wait and see what happens on release. I hope they're a little more rare than they seem to be now, because they're one of those species that I just feel like rare should be super rare, because they're just difficult to find in real life and like actually hunting stuff. So hopefully that is maybe going to be changed, but there actually are even more at this lake, at least the one. There are actually quite a good number. Once you start to really look around, they just hide in the shadows so well, and I can't even hardly find them again to spot them a second time. But I only see females, so we'll probably kind of leave them and go and check that other lake, because I want to see what's going on there, and I'm hoping there might be an outpost as well. There's a male. That's not it though. We must have sent them all running off, but 34 to 42 is not going to be anything special, so let's get up here and see. This area is literally just loaded with these things. They're all over the place. There's a pretty good 4. I think 58's diamond, so technically that would have a chance, but there are just a ton of them all around these lakes, and this lookout tower is actually going to be, I would say, a pretty good spot to kind of snipe some of these, because you can overlook this entire lake. But I want to actually survey it and see if there's going to be an outpost nearby, because if not, this is going to be a place to place a tent like 100%. And still, there are just a ton, but I think that 4 is going to be our best. Wherever that was, I think it was somewhere down with these guys. It's not going to be the easiest shot. It's only 150 meters, but the angle and the fact that it's in behind some of these is not ideal. I'm hoping that's going to be back of the lungs and liver, and it definitely dropped him there. But yeah, I can't believe how many all hang out in this one little area. So I'll show it on the map again. It's these 2 lakes. It's going to be, assuming it stays like this, just ridiculous for chamois hunting, but let's go ahead and see what we might have going on around here for an outpost. I gotta think there's going to be one near here, because we're actually quite far from any outpost, and generally all the lookout places reveal them. We went right past that, but that's good to see. We'll go down and get that then, and then we'll be able to just get up here quickly, so that's definitely good. It's kind of hard to tell from a distance, because it's the hooks on these, as far as I know, that makes a big difference. And unless you're up close, it's kind of hard to tell like what they have for them. That's honeytones again, and it's close. I mean, basically 2 below diamond at like 60 kg. So I think we probably had like a low trophy rating on the other one we shot. But yeah, lung liver pretty much as expected. And I think we'll go and get that outpost, and I want to actually quickly look for feral pigs. So I don't know how long this video is going to be. I feel like we've shot quite a lot of stuff, but they drink in the morning as well, and since we're probably going to spend the next hunt kind of like in the afternoon kind of area, I think I want to go look for pigs one more time. So the feral pigs, I think, drink 3 to 6 a.m., so it's not going to be a lot of time, but I think if we set this for like 4:45, the place I want to go is the area that we saw all those fallow deer. Like, there's drink zones all around here, and generally areas like that that like have multiple species in that kind of area, they'll have like a lot of shared zones, and I'm kind of thinking it just looks like a place where feral pigs should drink, so hopefully they're going to be down there. So kind of as expected. Got a couple drinking down here, and by the way, I think that's another black gold. I've seen a couple of them, so I don't think that was actually rare when we got that yesterday. That's a 4, which I haven't seen yet. We spooked one, actually a couple of them, out across there. I think we're just a little bit back on that. We got something. Probably not going to get the full score, but I kind of want to see what the teeth and stuff look like. And then these guys aren't that impressive, so I guess we'll just see what we got there. I don't think we've seen any like this before, though. I didn't realize it was any kind of different. I like that. And by the way, one of the many changes with this update is the fact that tracks go away when you get out your camera now. That's so useful because the amount of times that I've like got my camera to take a screenshot of like something cool, and then like I'll turn the tracks off and forget to turn them back on. I couldn't even count, but that's a brown hybrid. I like that a lot. You can kind of see the tusks best like that, I think. They're not huge, but you could probably see them even better on a 5, because that's still about 30 shy of diamond. So I think they're the same scoring as the wild boar. Pretty sure 144.2 is diamond on them as well. But this might be my favorite fur variation I've seen so far. So it's not like they're brand new, but we actually hadn't got to shoot any of the European rabbits last time. And I kind of like that there's a set of burrows right by the water here, because I think this is an area that I'll likely frequent. And we might as well just go ahead and try to take that good size level 2 there. Just go ahead and get him down, and then at least at this point we'll have officially taken one of everything. And that guy's even a gold, but it's 5:30 right now. I'd like to maybe check one more spot for pigs. I just don't really know where to go. That one lake for sika was really good, and I know they're kind of in that area as well. Let's try there. Finally, we actually found some. Turns out they don't actually hang out in the area where I thought they did. That one's super dark. I don't know if it could be like melanistic, but I started going up the coast here because some of the feed zones we had were right up in this area. So I figured they probably drank somewhere along the water, and that seems to be the case. But I definitely want to go for that one. That's another brown hybrid, so we'll kind of see if this is maybe a rare or not. I don't know when I even took that scope away, but just drop him there and see what that is. I mean, it could just be like a black fur type, but the fact that we haven't seen any of those yet is kind of encouraging. Let's take a look and see what we have here. That is brown, evidently. Not quite sure how, but I like it. It's actually pretty cool. Just a silver, so maybe we'll see if we can find one more along this coast. No, there's no way that's going to be better, but I don't think I've shot one of those yet either. I kind of think that would be just the common, because it looks a lot like the wild boar. But we'll just take that there and then kind of see. And I don't know that I've shot one of those either. I'm pretty sure that's going to be just like pink or white or whatever, but we'll kind of save that. It seems like the females are always like the pink, or I think I just called it black spots for a type. The males seem to have a little more variety, and if they're just going to give us the chance, I guess we'll kind of figure out what that one's called. And that'll be the last thing we shoot, because we do got to go back to the trophy lodge yet. I think we just have the chamois. We shot a lot of good stuff. Oh, there was the sika deer as well. But I want to know, for one, if this is just common, because that literally looks like the wild boar common. And that's called dark brown, so it's at least something different. And I'm going to guess then there's probably not like a proper common then. Just going to be a bunch of different fur types, because that's how brown bear and some of their species are. There is no like fur type that's listed as common. But then for the females, I want to know what this is, because I got to think the way that they've been named, it's got to be probably pink. Could be white, I can't really tell. Yeah, just pink on that. Double lung, and it's pretty cool you get to see the tusks even on them, but yeah, I think, I don't know how long this video is going to be. Again, it's going to be a longer one, but it's time to go back to the trophy lodge. It feels like forever ago since we actually shot that sika, but just kind of comparing the one we got last time versus the one today, you can really see how much bigger this guy is, and you can kind of imagine one with a rack similar to that would make diamond, maybe like a little more width, or it depends on how they're scored, because I haven't looked at the true score stuff, but I think that's probably like a small diamond rack, and then I would assume there's one bigger, which I'm pretty sure is what they showed in the trailer. And then for the chamois, you can see on the diamond like how big those hooks are. I still think that looks really good. I do wish they could go on the small plaques, because I just feel like it should fit. Just like looking at that, yeah, that'll be able to go there, but either way, they're not that bad the more I look at them on those size plaques. And then I just kind of threw the melanistic up there, and even him, you can see a little bit of hooks starting to form. And it does seem as though the rare chamois aren't all that rare, so hopefully that's maybe something that can get fixed. But either way, diamond was pretty cool to find. Good sized sika deer, and we've seen a lot of the fur types now with like the feral goats, the feral pigs, even the sika have a bunch of them, and I bet there's some that we haven't even seen yet, so looking forward to finding some of that stuff. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.